Hey everyone, we are back with the Drewsperience, the show that's 80% combat sports and 20% everything else. First live, first in person with my equipment, and today I am joined by the one, the only, John from FireFit, who was kind enough to do it. He's been a big supporter. I'm a big supporter of FireFit, so let's get started. So John, welcome to the Drewsperience, man. It's good to have you back on, have you on and be the first in-person guest. So,
thank you, man. I'm honored.
so tell me, man, how's it going today with everything?
Everything's going good, man. Nice. Living the dream.
Awesome. And obviously, yes, people know that my show is martial arts based, but you're a big MMA fan. We're going to get into that. But before we do that, how did you get started into personal training and fitness?
How did I get started into personal training and fitness? Basically, I was in university and I hated it. So I knew that I wanted to do a kind of like a change. And I decided to go into firefighting. And I've been training like since the age of 18 very seriously. And I really loved training. I loved sports my whole life. I've played sports my whole life. So I told myself, like, what job can I do while I'm in school to get through school that still pays well and that I don't have to work very much, because firefighting school is very demanding. So I thought of being a trainer. And yeah, that's how I started. So I basically became a trainer. I did a course, finished my course, started working at United Gym. And yeah, man, the rest is history.
So you went to firefighting school, and that's where you met Matt as well, or he was there at a different
I met
time?
Matt actually at United Gym.
Okay.
We both used to like train together there. I used to see him there. We weren't really friends, but I would just see him often because we would both train pretty often. And yeah, then I started working at United as a trainer, and he kind of asked me about it. He also went into firefighting. So like we had like very similar interests, and that's pretty much how I met him.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a small world, and then one thing leads to another, and then FireFit opened, and it started off small. You guys had another location before on Belanger, and I remember when you had all the nice street artwork, all the murals in there.
Yeah. So that was our first gym, first location, and then when our lease came to an end there, we wanted to like upgrade the facility a bit, so we came here.
That's awesome. I remember I went to that first gym, and I remember when you had you didn't have a beard back then, and
it was shorter because I was fresh out of school.
Yeah, and you as well, I remember I went to the barbecue donations you guys did.
Yeah, we did a lot of charity work. Of course, we put in the work at the beginning to give back to the community who was supporting us, and yeah, I feel like it's important to do that.
Really is. That's awesome. And guys, if you want to follow FireFit, make sure they're on Instagram. Follow John at Train.with.j and Matt Statics, because this gym is the best gym in the East End. I've given them a Google review, so make sure you check it out, because they have everything you need, and you are one lift, one kick, one punch, one what's the
battle ropes?
One battle rope away from making a better decision,
Wait, you forgot to mention our kickboxing coach.
Oh yeah, of course.
Come on, man.
Senpai Mo.
Come on, man.
Come on,
How dare
Mo.
you?
He's there. He's in the background there.
How dare you forget to mention Mo?
I didn't forget him. He likes to be under the radar. That's Mo for you. He likes to let his work do the talking. He likes to let the clients that he changes lives for do the talking, and that's how he does. He's kind of like the John Jones, where you see him where he inspires from the back, he inspires from the shadows, but everyone
Batman,
loves him. Exactly. He's like the Christian Bale Batman, basically. Okay. So that's how we got to look at him. So obviously, 2017, you guys open up FireFit on Belanger, then you move. What led to needing to expand? Was it because of more clientele, or you just felt it was time to put in an area where everyone knows where you guys are?
Well, basically, our lease was coming to an end where we were, and just the building itself that we were in, it was like the bottom was like commercial, and at the top it was residential, and it wasn't really an ideal spot for a gym because of all the noise we make, the weights, whatever. Sometimes we like to do boot camps outside, and it would kind of bother the people who live there. So we decided we needed to get more of a facility that was not part of a residential building, something a little more suitable for a gym, higher ceilings, whatever, So we found this place. It's about pretty much the same size. It's the same size, no? More or less, yeah, same size. So we just really upgraded the building that we were in more than anything.
It's Perfect. I love the area too because it's so easy to access, especially someone like me who lives all the way in the West End. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to move to the East End eventually. And Mo has been busting my chops to do it. It's going to happen soon. But I just want to say, whether you're in NDG, Côte St. Luc, even the West Island, it's so easy to access this gym by public transit or by car, Uber, whatever you wish.
Right off the highway. So, yeah.
Exactly. And it's really good. Like it's super convenient. You know, some people don't like a big gym. Some people like that intimate, like feeling like they're getting the attention they deserve. Because sometimes, you know, some people know they want to start training, but they don't have the right
Well, actually,
methods.
it's when you're training by yourself, it's completely different than when you have a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really the big difference. Like just going to a regular gym and just kind of like freelancing, it's great if you're just training just to be healthy and you just want to move a little bit. But if you really want to like take training seriously, I feel like you do need some sort of coach or mentor to help you. And I feel like that's really just the big difference between the two.
It really is. And what also makes you and Matt and Mo, like the best of what you guys do is the fact that you guys do pay attention to the clients. Because we've seen it's notorious. There are some trainers, they give the exercise to the client, they say, okay, do it, and then they're going to be on their phone, like, you know, looking at other stuff. And it kind of takes away from why am I paying the trainer if they're not invested in my journey to get to that next level?
Honestly, I think like in any industry, if you do something with your heart, you'll always be successful at it. You know, if you're putting love into what you do, you'll be successful. So I think that's what makes a difference for us. We love what we do, and we're really passionate about fitness, martial arts, whatever, and we want to give our passion to help share our passion with our clients. You know, I think that's why we, I guess, do well. You know,
very, very true. Then also your longtime girlfriend Kelsey. Also, like she's kind of a trainer too for the women who want to come to FireFit. She does a great job with. I don't know.
She's not really a trainer, okay. But since I'm on the Drewsperience podcast, I'm gonna drop some big news right here. No one knows about this.
Oh,
we hired 2 new trainers, both female, and they'll be starting in October. So there you go, just for you,
okay,
Andrew.
Big news. And I hope that they understand the mentality that comes into the philosophy of FireFit, that it's about, if they're going to contribute to the success, they have to be on board with the three of you.
Well, when we met with them, they basically told us that the reason why they were coming here is because they wanted to learn from us. They thought we had a strong team, and they feel like they could learn from this team. And that's why they're coming here. They're a little bit younger, so they're also looking for a little bit of guidance and trying to learn from our experience.
That's awesome. That's the most important. Having experience with some inexperience is going to help speed up the process for them to get the clientele they need. And
it's the right mentality, right? You always want to learn from people who came before you, standing on the shoulder of giants, right?
Exactly. So taking it away from fitness now, obviously I promised we would talk about MMA. So, you know, I'm a big MMA fanatic. I used to be a hockey fanatic. Like you could ask Matt. Matt could ring off like who got drafted when, who scored this one. It's like that when you have like that savant mentality and that savant mindset what you're born with. But I'm a huge fight fan. So what led to liking UFC? Was that because of Senpai Mo, or was that like other influences?
Well, basically, like my whole life, I played soccer.
Okay.
Till the age of 21, and I played AAA. So I was practicing sometimes like 7 to 8 times a week. Then when that stopped at the age of 21, I started training regularly, but I still missed like that feeling of like when you do something like really cardio intensive, you know, like when you're sweating, not necessarily lifting weights, right? So it's like I love lifting weights, but I missed that sport, that competitive aspect, that just like doing a sport in general. And since the pandemic, basically, like I had stopped getting calls to play like on in garage leagues, because obviously COVID stopped everything. So I was lucky enough to basically, I decided like, you know what better time than now to start practicing martial arts, because it was one of the only things that we were allowed to do during the pandemic. So I did my first session, and ever since then I've been hooked, man. And I try to do it as often as I can. It's very hard with work and my regular training schedule, but I would say I'm able to do it one to 2 times a week, I would say. So I'm really happy with my journey so far. And Mo really helped me big time. He's like basically my main coach. You know, I've gotten my base from him. And I'm really grateful for it.
I mean, you definitely have the physique to do it, especially having a soccer background. So your footwork, if you were to ever compete, is going to be very good for the style of karate that.
So I don't know if I'm ever gonna like go super far in terms of competing. It's really more like a hobby and a passion for me. But I would like to maybe test my skills eventually, maybe like in a few amateur fights, if anything. But that's as far as I'm willing to take it. You know,
it's better to say you did it than to never do it at all. Like I did it.
That's really it's more like something on my bucket list that I would like to do one day. And hopefully I develop my skills enough to give it a shot soon.
It's really it's once you step into that tatami or ring, it's like there's nothing compares to like that feeling. But
you got to respect anyone who steps into a ring or a fight or whatever and who's going up against another person. You know, I feel like it takes a lot of guts to do that, and I really respect it. So.
Oh, it does. It's
You've done it.
I did it
which is crazy, right?
3 times. So, 2 times without. This is before I met Mo. Then the 3rd time was with.
Yeah. So you see, I definitely respect you for even doing that. You know?
Thank you. I don't care if I win place first, second, or third. Everyone's a critic. It doesn't matter. They're not the ones putting in the sacrifice.
But for anyone watching the Drewsperience, he's put in the work. He's done it. He's stepped into a fight. You know what I mean? So you got to give him credit. A lot of these guys doing YouTube channels have never fought in their life. So you got to give Drewsperience the little tip of the hat. You know?
Thank you. And you know, well, the thing is, I think what also makes me connect with a lot of the pro fighters that you've seen me have on my show is I've done it. Like when I'm able to, so when you've done it and done the training to prepare, it helps relate, and you're relating to the fighters, and they understand whether it's professional or amateur. Just doing a fight is a fight, and everyone talks about the romanticism of doing it, but when it comes to push comes to shove, or walking the walk, everyone's like, I don't know. It's like, exactly. I'll just watch. So
yeah, of course. So that's why I really respect that you actually did it. You know what I mean? So
didn't lose any brain cells, although I still have a big head. So that just comes with looking like Jay Leno's son. What can I say? So you know, obviously you got into it as a hobby, and then you know you started watching UFC. And who were the fighters that influenced you?
Well, of course, I think anyone who lives in Montreal at the beginning was obviously George St. Pierre. You know, like when he came up, everyone was watching his fights. You know, whether it be like anytime he would fight, basically the city would pretty much be shut down. Like every bar was glued to a TV. You know, so for me, that's the first time I really like I guess saw UFC. It was through George, and yeah, I've loved it ever since, man. I feel like they've done a great job in terms of like bringing the sport to where it is today. You know, like Dana White killed it, and I really enjoy watching it. You know, he puts on like crazy events pretty much almost every weekend, right? Or every 2 weekends. So yeah, man, it's the story behind the fighters too is always very interesting. You know, and they're at top level in the world. You know, so it's just like anyone who likes sports will appreciate it. You know.
I know, like, I was trying to get some of my family members, like uncles, and they're like, I can watch boxing. I can't watch that cage.
Really?
Yeah, they find it's too violent. It's
like,
it's not for the faint. I get it, though. There's like, you know, arm breaks, leg snaps.
It's gruesome, man, but it's real. You know what I mean? That's
as real as it gets, as the slogan used to be.
Yep.
And it's crazy to see like how far the sport's come from where it was like Dana first bought it. If you remember, if you've ever watched highlights of how like it looked in the early 2000s to now, it's like
just crazy.
You don't recognize it.
They're some of the most recognized athletes in the world now. I would say, you know, UFC fighters. I mean, everyone's watching now, so it's great. You know, I feel like the sports world was always missing that aspect. You know,
They needed it. So then you also became a John Jones fan and a Wonder Boy Thompson fan along the way.
Yeah, like for me, you know, the style that I practice is stand up, you know, so it's also, I feel like a lot more entertaining for people to watch is when two guys are standing up. And yeah, that's the style I like. I feel like my body would do well because I'm pretty tall and lean. So that's why I chose kickboxing. And also because I had a soccer background, I wanted to make use of my legs. So basically, yeah, I chose kickboxing. And so guys that, you know, are really good in stand-up, John Jones, Wonder Boy, I like to watch them and try to learn a little bit from these guys.
That's very good. Yeah, same for me. It says John Jones, Wonder Boy, Robbie Lawler, Masvidal. Those are and Mousasi, Gegard Mousasi. Win or lose, those are like my 5 guys. I'll get up to watch them fight any day.
I definitely like fighters who use their legs a lot. You know, Adesanya, another guy. You know, I just feel like kickboxing is more like the style that I'm most attracted to. You know,
It's entertaining. And it's just when you're good with
yeah,
your
it's
legs too.
entertaining, and yeah, for me, that's the style I like the most. You know, but yeah, these days it seems to be like wrestling is the key to winning everything. But yeah, I feel like also now with the new champions who have been crowned, like a lot of stand-ups, you know, have been our champions. So it does. I feel like you can still do very well with just stand-up. You know?
I think this is the best era of champions for pay-per-view because before you used to have like Connor and Ronda that one year. Now
Yeah.
you have John, you have Sugar Sean O'Malley, had Izzy. Izzy got dethroned last night. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch the fight, but then again, it's on today, the highlights. I would even say, yeah, so those three were like really carrying the UFC to, and Volkanovski too, I'd say.
Yeah.
And Islam for the Muslim world too. So those are 5 legit pay-per-view buys. So this is the best era, I think, of champions.
I think so. Charles Oliveira too. What a stud. I love him. Love his style of fighting the most probably right now. But yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much to watch. What was your take on Strickland doing the upset last night?
I think he killed it. You know what I mean? He won the fight pretty much with just his hands, you know, which is crazy in the UFC. But honestly, he killed it. That's all I could say, man. He very inspiring, like to go up there and beat Adesanya the way he did, man. It's crazy, you know. I have no words for it, honestly.
Deshaun, here's the thing, Strickland has won.
Yeah.
Best press conferences ever. Like this is going to be a great era for him, entertainment wise.
It'll be interesting to see who his next fight is going to be against.
I think it's gonna be Drickus. I think they're gonna give it.
Really?
That's gonna be a barn burner.
No rematch for Adesanya.
I think they're gonna give him a break. Look at how many times he's fought. Like for those who know, Izzy is the most active champion, always fighting every 3 to 4 months. I think that catches up to you after a while. So he's made his money. Give it to someone else. It's time to get some fresh blood moving. He won the belt, held it, won it again. It's time to
take a little break. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it would do him some good too. You know.
Yeah.
Reevaluate things.
I'd say so. And then you have the John Jones fight coming up on November 11th, the 30th anniversary of UFC. What better way versus the heavyweight goat Stipe Miocic. Now, this fight should have happened in 2017 when Jones beat DC the second time. And remember, Jones called out Lesnar, but at the time, Stipe was at the highest, and Jones came back on a high. Then there was a whole picogram thing. I'm not saying it's too late, but this is a fight I would have loved to see 5 or 6 years ago, but getting it now, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a fight. I think John Jones will probably win that fight, even though, you know, Stipe is a firefighter and I should kind of be going for him. John Jones is just, to me, unbeatable. He just has the best of everything. And it's going to be a really good fight. I'm excited to watch it.
That's the same here, man. It's going to be crazy. And so now taking it back to fitness. So you guys have like really grown, as you said, you got the new trainers coming in. What do you think has led to FireFit's success so quickly? Because it takes a long time for gyms to find their footing.
I just think, well, for Matt and I, like, I feel like we put in the work in terms of like, we're always trying to learn, be better every day. You know what I mean? We've done a lot of traveling, like going to different gyms around the world, trying to learn